Okay, you're live now.
Hey everyone.
Hey.
So we have got a lot to go through, but we got some good stuff to cover. So for starting off the discussion, so what from the reading, what were some of the positive results that you guys saw from the pilot programs? So like what things did you, I thought there was a lot of really good things that they had from the pilot program, that it had a lot of good opportunities that that were provided for the people that went. What were some of those things that you guys saw?
It said that people, a lot of them got promoted. So it took people that were maybe didn't have as much opportunity in the company and led them to take on more responsibility and have promotions. So, I mean, that's definitely a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, definitely. I forgot, Rubenstein. I think that's how you pronounce it. So she was one of the managers, and I felt she did a really good job getting involved, and it talked about, like you said, finding opportunities for a lot of people to work their way up in the company. And it talked about at least 2 or 3 experiences where there's people that were within the company that were able to work their way up, which I thought was really cool. What else were some positive results from these, or from this program?
One of the things was it got such good feedback that they were able to do it multiple times instead of just trying it once and then quitting and not doing it again.
Mm-hmm. So I'm glad you said that, because I made some notes throughout the reading, and just going off of what you just said, I have highlighted here, it says we end up having 37. Wait, one sec. So, talked about how there's this one girl that said she was very shy and reluctant to speak to a crowd. Working with her mentor, she gained confidence and practice and encouragement. During the celebration event, she got in front of the whole group and spoke about how much mentoring program helped her. It was really a really powerful testimonial. So I thought, because of those testimonials, and there's more people that talked about how this mentoring program was a positive experience. And because of that, they were able to, like you said, have a second one. Was there anything else that you guys saw that stood out to you of positive results from this?
I definitely think that it helped them just on a personal level. I mean, of course, it helped them succeed in the office and professionally, but a lot of the comments, a lot of the feedback was that they felt better individually and personally. So one person said, the program is a monthly reminder of what you need to be doing to improve yourself and develop professionally. You can get so caught up in your daily job that you might otherwise forget. So a lot of it was, just helping them keep track of themselves personally on how to improve.
Right. And I thought they had a lot of good resources, not just the management team that was there, but also like the other people that were a part of the program. They were able to talk to each other and kind of get like help, the what they call the informal support group, which I thought was kind of cool. Is there anything else that really stood out to you guys? There's some other things that I kind of get it to talk about. There's the large number of being promoted, the sense of network in the bank. And then this I thought was kind of interesting, employees feeling more loyalty to the bank. So just from that, you can see that there's a lot of positive results from this program. So what were some of the, I guess, negative results that you guys saw from the program? Or was there anything negative?
I didn't see too much negative, but it did talk about how the second round they didn't get near as many people signing up for it as they had before. So, I mean, I don't remember it giving a reason for that. I didn't really know why, but they're losing interest in it for some reason.
Right. Why do you guys think that was? That was actually something that I was kind of asking myself. Just because it seemed like the first round they had such a high success rate. There's people that had powerful testimonials. It seemed to work great. So I was kind of confused maybe why the second round didn't go so smoothly.
The biggest difference I noticed that they pointed out was the first round they did a lot of advertising. They spent a lot of time and effort on that. And then the second round they said, well, because it went so well and they thought but word of mouth would have spread and so they didn't put as much effort into advertising. So that could have been the difference.
Definitely agree.
Yeah, I also don't know. Go ahead, William.
Well, I was just going to say it was a 9-month program. And since the first round, like when it ended, word of mouth with just 3 months isn't really enough time because really we already know what we're going to do in 3 months. Like if we're going to join this program, yes or no. And that's why I think the third round and the second one, it said that they had a lot more people and they were able to have 25 more people. So I just think they didn't allow enough time for advertising.
Yeah.
Or like the word of mouth would have worked. They just needed to start earlier or would have just said something earlier. I don't know. It just depends on time. They didn't give it enough time to start the next group.
So yeah, that's kind of what I have. Something that one of the people part of the program said, they said time pressure on the departments, not necessarily on board with the program because the employees spent 2 days in training and then 4 hours a month with the members. So that more goes along with the training. But as far as the time of preparing and getting ready for, yeah, I think they should have had more time to be able to market it and maybe had more of a time gap in between. So what were some of the reasons why you think the first program was more successful than the second, besides time? One thing that I talked about that I thought was really neat was the thorough matching process and kind of how they matched up the mentor with the mentee, and how that it just seemed like people were matched really well, and it was able to like their personality and what they're planning on doing as far as the career and how they're gonna be a part of the business. I thought that was really cool how they really took the time to, instead of just randomly put people together. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that was a big part of why it was so successful the first time. So what are some other reasons why you think the program was successful? So we have the hang on one second. So one of the reasons that I talked about was the thorough matching process. Another one that I noticed was Rubenstein, how involved she was. She really took the time to get involved. So it talked about. Do you guys remember the circle that it talked about? How? Let me look at my notes. Yeah, the mentoring circle.
Circle group mentoring.
Yeah.
What?
Circle group mentoring.
So it talked about how there's at least one or two mentors in there, and the primary design was to help members identify opportunities in the bank. And I thought it was really cool because it talked about how there's times where mentors had to leave. And so Rubenstein would take it upon herself to go in there and fill the spot of the mentor. And there's a lot of other experiences and of where there's people that were wanting to quit, but Rubenstein went in and kind of took them under her wing and really went above and beyond. So that was another reason that was pointed out of why it was so successful. Was there anything else that you guys maybe thought of why the first program was so successful?
I think it kind of maybe also had to do with it's just the new thing on the block. You know, I think it said something about they were worried that maybe it would be like the flavor of the month and then people would kind of lose steam with it, because it does take extra motivation and extra time and stuff, but it is worth, like, its benefits are worth it. But I think, I don't know if that might have had something to do with the reason that the first one was more successful. It was better advertised and, you know, it was something new and exciting. Now it's not that new thing, so it may just not quite have the same appeal to people.
Maybe that's why they put so much time into it the first time, and the second time around they only put like 2 or 3 months into it. Just not so much effort the second time around.
That's kind of what I was thinking. Maybe they just assumed that, like, since the first time it was such a big hit, that they didn't really need the time to organize and market the second time around. And then it just wasn't as big of a hit.
I guess
that's kind of I thought that was a good point that you made, Ken, was that kind of the new thing. So that's probably what sparked a lot of people's interest. And I think we see that a lot of time in our lives. Like, oh, this is really cool. We've never seen this before. So it gets people, wanting to get involved. So was there anything else maybe that you guys thought of why? I thought how we kind of talked about it already. But how organized it seemed like there's a specific time and place for everything. Like, it was just really organized well. And everyone kind of going with organization. I thought the communication and involvement was a key part of that too.
To go with the first time, I think it was more successful just because they went over and just over the expectation of what they thought should have been going on. Because in the second one, they would have like cut back on what they thought they just did too much. I feel like that's probably one of the reasons why the first round was more successful, just because they gave it more time. And then the second one, it was just like, oh, we did that in the first round, but it was too much, and so we're not going to do it this time.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they say they streamlined it, right? They streamlined the selection process, and
that was a big difference too. Yeah.
Which I kind of wonder. It talks about this more on the discussion, but I think it's fine that we hit up on that right now. I was kind of wondering why they did that, because that was a big key, I felt, to the reason why they had so much success the first time, for the thorough matching program that they did. So I thought that was really interesting that they did that for the second round.
Another thing that I think it mentioned is that they weren't looking at new employees. They were only looking at employees that were currently in the company that didn't have opportunity. So they might have, with that, limited themselves to those that would want to take part in it. Mm-hmm. I know that they said that there's a new employee orientation, but I think that this type of program would be a lot better for any employee, but definitely including the new employees.
Yeah, I wonder if they opened it up to the new employees, if they would have gotten a better selection, even more interest.
Yeah. I felt like they could have done a better job, like we talked about, marketing and getting more people, opening it up for more people. So in the next part, how can mentoring help employees with career development? Do any of you guys maybe have any experiences with that, of like you working for somebody and then them kind of taking them under your wing like a mentor and then getting interested in a certain field?
Yeah, I'm kind of part of one right now. I just got hired on with AgriNorthwest. Their system is they do internship, which then if you're a good fit and they're a good fit for you, then it goes into you're hired as a trainee, like a manager trainee, and they pretty much, it's right from the beginning before you're even hired on full time. They're giving you time with a mentor and teaching you. So I think it's a really good system, and it helps people progress so much quicker than they would if they were just given a job and kind of expected to try to work their way up in the company themselves. And I see a benefit for the companies that they're able to develop talent if it's there quicker than, and to benefit from that quicker than if they didn't have a system in place.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks for sharing that. I know this, it kind of goes along with it. So my brother, he's a welder. He's a journeyman, and so it's in the union. And so how it kind of works out is there's an apprenticeship program, and so the journeymen are kind of the mentor over those that are in the apprenticeship. And so they kind of help them out, guide them through problems and stuff. They kind of, like in this experience, they didn't solve the problems for them, but they were there to kind of help guide them. And in my opinion, I feel like these mentoring programs are kind of the best way to not just learn, but kind of hit the ground running once you get into the field, because you have a better idea, and those experiences help you excel that much better when you do get in the work field. So that was something I personally don't have really too many experiences where I've been in a mentoring program, but just from him talking about when he was an apprenticeship and how he became a journeyman, and then how he's kind of taken that role as the mentor. I thought that was really interesting. Do any of you other guys have any experiences with that? Or maybe how you've had a mentor in the past that have kind of gotten you interested in a career?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, just like a mentor, like even in school, just having people that I could turn to and like kind of guide me as to what I should be doing, what classes I should take. Kind of, I've been through it. This is what I recommend. And we can kind of help you, especially if you know where you want to go, or we can help you figure out where you want to go with your career. So just even in college with mentors, I think big too.
I know they have those, I forgot what they're called. They're like the personality tests. I've taken a couple. Some are more detailed than other, but they're kind of interesting. To kind of lines you up with what careers show that you would work really well in. I think they're kind of fun. But yeah, that's a good example, Josh. I know I've had teachers in the past that have kind of helped me figure out, I guess, what I wanted to do with my future career.
I can't remember who it was, but a guy came and did a forum talk here in Rexburg, and he said he had 5 steps of, how to be successful. And there's like, find your niche, do this and that. But one of those steps was always have a mentor. And that kind of proves that, it's a proven way to really be successful. Like, whether the company's facilitating it or you're seeking it on your own, like having a mentor and having someone guide you that's been there, and just someone to bounce ideas off of, and someone that'll listen to you and you'll listen to them and learn from them. Like, that's just a huge resource.
Right. It's a huge resource, like we've been talking about, but I think having a mentor provides one of the best ways for us to learn as well. Kind of like you were saying, they've been through that, they've had experience, they've been through what we're going through. And, they're not going to solve the problems for us, but they are there to help guide us. One of the first things that pops into mind is that he wasn't really a mentor. He was a TA, and it was for one of the aux safety classes that I was taking. I felt like him being in our class, when we were learning, it was more of like a hands-on approach instead of just studying from the textbook and taking tests. We had our TA in there, and then we had more of a hands-on and interacting approach. And if we had any questions, he was always there. And I thought that was one of the most beneficial ways of learning as well. So it was nice for resources, but also for being able to learn and actually apply it to our lives, if that makes any sense. So going on, would a less formal mentoring program be even more better with mentees, or free to find whatever mentors they need to help them progress in their careers rather than be assigned to someone? So this program, it definitely seems like it was a pretty formal program. It was really organized, and they even talked about how they had mentors assigned to groups. So do you think it would have been more beneficial if there wasn't assigned mentors, and if people could just choose which mentors they wanted? Or what do you guys think?
I think the way they structured, oh, go ahead.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just go. I was just thinking it wouldn't work better just because it's in the workplace a lot of the time, and a lot of the information or talking goes in at the job. And if it was informal, it would just be more of like a company getaway, just to have a weekend together and talk about issues and how to fix them. And that doesn't really work, or it does work, it just doesn't work as well as a mentor, because they're assigned to them, and they're like, if they need help, they have someone to go to. It's not like you're assigned in a group and you don't really have to say anything. It's like someone you trust or begin to trust. So I don't know, I think it's better formal because it's just in the workplace.
No, I agree with you, William. I was gonna say the same thing, that I think that the structure needed to be there, especially since the history of the bank that we read about at the beginning was that they were having some problems with. I mean, this was a big issue in the company, and so they needed that structure, I think, and the organization to get, to kind of change people's paradigms, and get them motivated on looking forward and more forward thinking. I think that maybe perhaps after the participants had gone through a round, that maybe as the closure, they could encourage them to seek out mentoring opportunities on their own, ask questions and find people that they really connect with and ask them to, mentor them. But I think that they definitely needed the training to begin with.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys. I feel that one of the reasons why this program was so successful is just because everything was outlined very well. It was very formal and it was very organized. And I think that was one of the key components of why this program was so successful. So for the next part, it just talked about what we've already talked about, of why do we think less people signed up for the second round. But what could the company have done to get more applicants? So we talked about time and advertising. What are some other ideas?
We also mentioned opening it up to the new hires as well.
That's
not just
right.
Yeah.
What should they do with the mentoring program moving forward? Should they expand, or do you guys think that they should keep it smaller? I personally liked how they kept it smaller. At least I think they should keep it smaller for now, especially since the second round it didn't go as hot. But I thought it was kind of cool how they had a lot of mentors for the people that were in the program, so they're able to get adequate help and to not feel overwhelmed. But over time, I think it would be a good idea for them to expand it.
Yeah, I think it'd be important to keep like quality. Yeah, obviously is what is going to keep that program going. So if they try to expand it and don't stay on top of it and make sure that everyone's having a positive experience, then it wouldn't be worth expanding at all.
Right.
But if they are able to get a good system down that's working, that everyone is having good experience, and you have a good system, then I think expanding it would be good also.
Yeah, I agree with that, just because they actually went through and were like, hey, this is what a mentee does, this is what a mentor does, but still that isn't more important than your job. And that's why I think they need to expand, but not like make everyone do it, but they just need to slowly expand it and make sure that other organizations that they have in their company, that they can actually do it. and they actually understand that the job actually comes before the program too.
I agree. One of the things they pointed out too, that all the participants said that they got the most out of the program. One of the things is the training. Do you remember how they talked about how important the training was? So I just thought they could really focus on building up that training really, really well.
Right.
And in the first set of reading that we did, it was all about training games. So, they could implement, training games and things to get people more engaged and really excited about the program. And then also more managerial support. That was some feedback from everybody too, that they would love to have the senior level management encouraging across all departments. That the program can benefit everybody. So, top down, when the top levels are really encouraging something, then people listen.
Right. And I thought Rubenstein, she did a great job with that.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, I kind of felt like she was running around like crazy. Like if there's more other people like Rubenstein, I think it'd go a lot more smoothly.
Right.
And that was actually what you were bringing up, that it said time pressures on the departments are not necessarily on board with the program because the employees spend 2 days in training in 4 hours a month with all departments. So maybe if there's more mentors available to kind of help guide and just help out the people in the program, that might be more beneficial as well. But if they expand too early, then it's just going to be more unorganized, and the people in the program aren't going to be able to get the help that they need.
Right.
So how do they get more people without forcing them to be involved? I don't know exactly what that means. Does anyone have any ideas?
Maybe have the people, so those people that got promotions and the people that the program really helped succeed, maybe just have them, I don't know, what, you've had a meeting and you can just have them kind of give testimonials, or just say, or just make it notified, like, hey, they were able to do this program and now they're able to progress and do this. And we want everyone to have that type of opportunity, and everyone that is eligible. So maybe something like that could help to do it again. It's like, oh, wow, like I got a promotion.
Yeah.
I want that.
Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Recognition goes a long way. I agree.
Right.
I think that would definitely help.
And I thought from the testimonials actually made a pretty big impact. So that's another good way as well, kind of encouraging people, just seeing and hearing what other people's experiences were. And that kind of goes along with this question: how can they encourage people who really need mentoring to get mentoring? Because I talked about how I forgot her name, but she almost quit the program. But then she was able to, Rubenstein kind of took her under her wing, encouraged her to get the help that she needed. And then she ended up getting a pretty good job with the bank. And so what ended up being a negative experience ended up being a very positive experience for her. But there's some people that aren't willing, and we don't have to just apply it to this situation, but maybe in the future, in wherever we work or at school, how can we get people? So how can we encourage people who really need mentoring to get mentoring?
I think it's, as a person talking to someone else, convincing someone is very hard. And going back to last week's lesson, it would be easier to recruit someone than hire someone just because you know them more personally. And really the only way you can get more people to come join the program is to be good friends with them, and just say, hey, I know this program will help you, and I think you can do it. And maybe even like try to become their mentor even. Like, I don't even know.
Right.
It could work a lot of ways.
Again, it just reminds me of the gospel. Everybody needs a friend, right? Everybody.
Right.
People are more willing to listen to you and what you have to say if you genuinely care about them and have an interest in their success.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really actually think that's funny you brought that up, because the whole time I was reading this, I just thought of companionships as a missionary, but also the circle group meetings or whatever they're called. Those are like district or zone meetings. We all get together because we all have one goal to bring people to Christ. So really, it's more of a recruiting to make sure everyone's getting what they want or what they need.
Right.
And also,
yeah, I thought. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Maybe taking this is maybe not a good view on it, but if you do find people that simply don't want to progress, that don't want to, I mean, it's a good indicator that, you know, they're not the ones for that promotion.
Right.
And they're not ones you want to move up in the company, because if you're giving them all the tools to succeed and they just simply don't want to use them and don't want to progress, I mean, that's a good way to figure out what people should move up and what people shouldn't.
True.
3 strikes, right?
A little more cutthroat answer, but
yeah, I thought this whole program was a good way to show like who.
Uh-oh.
Is he gonna come back this time?
Are you guys all there?
I'm all here.
Can you guys hear me?
I'm here.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Ken and Josh isn't moving at all.
Well, we're almost.
Am I the only one on?
Hello? Wait, hey, Will, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear April and you.
Kent?
Oh. It keeps showing Kent is speaking, but it's not saying anything.
Dude, my computer has been acting so lame lately.
Oh.
Is everybody back?
Josh is back.
Hey, April, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Okay.
there we go.
Welcome back, everybody.
I forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I was probably like just rambling on for a long time, and but yeah, we're basically done. Just a couple more questions. Oh, so I was talking about, or we were talking about how it kind of ties in with the gospel. Hello?
I'm here.
Still works.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, my computer was glitching really bad.
And
William?
yeah, I can hear you still.
Okay.
It just cut out and everybody's We should just wrap it up and then just put this in the description.
Okay. So, what I guess were some pros and cons for our discussion? I guess as far as I've conducted. What were some good things?
Pros. It was organized. Suggestions.
Yeah, I agree. You there?
Yeah, sorry. Will?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Cons is the glitchiness.
Yeah, the cons.
Yeah,
is the
what do you do, right?
Yeah, it was
Cool.
good.
Yeah, it was a good discussion. It was just harder just because there wasn't as much to talk about.
Yeah, I felt like the talk, like it was interesting, and I felt like we could relate it to our lives pretty well. But as far as like being able to just have a discussion, it was a little more difficult, the topic. But I thought it was really interesting how important having mentors in our lives are and how applicable it is. And but yeah, it was a good lesson, I thought, as well. And thanks again, guys, for your comments and helping the discussion go more smoothly. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, with doohickeys, since there's 4 of us here. So the second problem, do you just want to have training?
Yeah,
Training?
that's
Because doohickeys, they just hire people and they put them where they need them, and they don't really train anybody.
okay. So training, and our first one was
Hiring and not recruiting. I changed it. It's hiring, but I put the not to, like, trying not to recruit people.
okay. So problem number 1 is hiring.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And problem number 2 is training.
Yes.
Okay.
And I can put that on there right now. I'm actually there.
Thank you.
Yep, and I'll send this link to you through your school email.
Okay. Awesome.
And then you'll just need to post it on the discussion thing and do your assignment. And I have it next week.
Yeah, are we just going to start over, you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Jovi, I have a question for you then. Can I switch with you? I'm going to be gone week 11, so can I do week 12? Can you and I just switch our weeks for the next round?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do week 12 if you do week 11.
Okay.
And then doohickeys is due at the end of next week, right, you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So do we want to decide our third problem right now?
Should we just look to see what next week's problem is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that might be a good idea.
Okay, lesson 8's problem.
Motivation and safety.
Yeah, workplace safety.
Do we just do that? That's, I'm sure.
That'd be cool.
Whole section on that.
Safety.
Safety.
Because you can include sexual harassment with that too, because the woman might not feel safe there.
Oh.
Okay. Then we'll find something else. Yeah.
Hiring,
And then,
safety.
Huh?
Hiring, training, and safety. Those are the 3.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. I encourage you to do your doohickeys some of it this week, so you don't have to do it all next Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Make Josh feel more stressed about what he needs to do.
Yeah. And then
But-
I can write the problems. I saw that you wrote the first problem, but I can't.
Yeah, I had an hour to do absolutely nothing, so I just decided
So
Hey,
I'll get
Josh.
started on the second one.
It was
What's
nice
that?
to finally meet you in person.
Yeah, that was cool.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Guys,
We'll talk soon.
All right,
Yeah.
sounds good. See you.
week.